What is up, Flavor family? Welcome to the 8th episode of the Off-Season Grind Show. Really appreciate you guys tuning in today, making it part of your day, and things of that nature. The Eagles' schedule has just been released. I may have an unpopular opinion about it, but nevertheless, I actually really like the schedule. Let me tell you why. Let's fawn into it. So first and foremost, week one, we face Dallas at home. Not necessarily an easy game. It is always any given Sunday. I do completely understand that, but let's be honest. George Pickens isn't a needle mover. Dak Prescott, he is coming off of a season-ending injury and things of that nature. He is turning 32 years of age. He doesn't have an O-line to protect him. No defense to stop the opposing team from scoring however much they want. So I mean, I don't have a problem with that. Week two, we face the Chiefs in Kansas City. I don't know why so early in the year, but nevertheless, I do, know that there was going to be a payback game or however the case may be, even before they, announced our opponents and things of that nature. So that's understandable. Week three, Rams at home. Show them again who's boss and things of that nature. They did give us a good run for our money in the playoffs. Much respect to them. Definitely going to be a tough game for sure. Week four, the Buccaneers in Tampa. They've had our number as of recently, especially when we go to Tampa and things of that nature that early in the year. Week five, Broncos at home. Obviously, it's in Philly and things of that nature, and obviously it's the Broncos. I don't really think they have too much going for them. They have a decent O-line, an okay defensive line. They have okay skilled players. Bo Nix, he's all right, but not nothing too scary or nothing. Week six, Giants in New York. They have a scary looking D-line on paper, but it's up to the coach to put it together and them to, basically use their potential and actually get it on the field. So, yeah, I definitely think, since they have no offense and whatnot, an unproven quarterback, we haven't even seen him, in the NFL yet, so we shall see. Week seven, Vikings in Minnesota. Lost Sam Darnold. Yeah, sure, they're the best wide receiver, but who's going to get it to him? What about the defense? What about, the run game and things of that nature? They got exposed. Those things got exposed in the playoffs last year. The lack of run game, lack of an actual good defense and things of that nature. So, again, I don't think that's really much to worry about, regardless if it's in Minnesota or not. I think we're built to play in cold weather. We can run it in any weather. Week 8, Giants at home. I think we'll smash them and things of that nature, tire out the defensive line. I don't think Cam Scatterbo and Malik Neighbors are going to be enough for them to even keep up with us, just being honest, especially at home. Week 9, in my opinion, perfectly timed bye week. Absolutely love that. Week 10, we face the Packers away, so obviously it's in Green Bay, so again, that he didn't. I don't think Jordan Love really played that well. I don't think they had a particularly good year last year. Their defense ain't the greatest, so much respect to them. They made the playoffs, but other than that, I don't know. Week 11's Lions at home. I do realize they battled a bunch of injuries and things of that nature. That is part of it, and we are facing them later in the year, and it is in Philly. So I do have faith in a lot of respect for Vic Fangio, Clint Hurd, and defensive coaching staff that we'd be able to at least neutralize it for the most part. Obviously, Stout is still here. Most of the offense is still here, with the exception of Mekhi Becton, borderline Pro Bowler. I definitely think we can win this game and things of that nature. So. I like our chances there. Cowboys in Dallas, again, poverty franchise. George Pickens isn't a needle mover, not that scary of a move, or however the case. Bears at home, week 14. It's in Philly. I don't think they have the defensive line to even try to do anything, or however the case. Their secondary ain't the greatest. Yeah, sure, they made a couple moves and things of that nature. All the credit to them. They got a new coach and things of that nature. Much credit to them. But, again, this early into their rebuild, I don't know. The Eagles proved a lot last year. In terms of offense, the ones that put up the 55 in the national NFC Championship game, I mean, they're still there. AJ Brown's still here. Smitty's still here. Saquon Barkley's still here. Most of the O line is here. The head coach is still here. Yeah, sure, the offensive coordinator. That's fair. But I mean, until we've seen something bad from Kevin Patullo, I mean, he's waited his turn. He's sat behind, and I don't know. But I'm not saying he's still not an issue. But week 14, Chargers in LA. Again, Herbert, he's not scary. He's not that guy. I'm sorry, he's not that guy. Just because he's 6'5" and throws a good spiral, it's not the end all be all. In terms of receivers, ain't really much there. Week 15 versus the Raiders. I mean, poverty franchise. Yeah, sure, they got Alshon Jeanty and whatnot, but with what O-line? With what quarterback? When Tanner McKee, when Kenny Pickett were in, you've seen the noticeable drop in the running game in terms of production and efficiency. Week 16, Commanders in Washington. A lot of respect to Jaden Daniels. He did something Dak Prescott couldn't do in 10 years with a lot less help. So anything could happen. Week 17, Bills in Buffalo. I've supreme confidence in our quarterback. Obviously, they have an MVP quarterback and things of that nature. Hasn't had the greatest rosters throughout the years. All respect to him. But I don't think Buffalo's defense is enough to stop Philly. And I don't think their offense, or however the case, yeah, sure, Josh Allen could throw all the best thrown balls in the world, or however the case. But, I mean, if his receivers and tight ends are getting locked up, then, kind of a little different. Week 18, Commanders at home. Last game of the season. Obviously, it's in Philly. I have supreme confidence in the O-line, our coaching staff, and things of that nature that we could pull it out. And since we retained the majority of our coaching staff, I mean, I guess there's the next thing to talk about. The biggest reason why I like it is because of the perfectly teamed bye week. That's smack dab right in the middle. So week 18, or however the case is our last game, obviously, because of the bye week. So in my opinion, it's perfectly timed and whatnot. Gives us plenty of time to rest and things of that nature. The games are spaced out enough to where we get decent rest, even when it's not the bye week and things of that nature. Next couple of things I like. I looked over it in depth and things of that nature. We play 5 absolute garbage teams. No conversation for them being good, especially when compared to us. Cowboys in weeks 1 and 12. Broncos in week 5. Giants in weeks 6 and 8. Bears in week 13. Raiders in week 15. It is any given Sunday, absolutely. I'm not saying like, oh, they have no chance or whatever case. That's ignorant and so intellectually dishonest. My point to say is that those 5 teams, you know what I'm saying, regardless of how many times we play them or however the case, because it is, at the end of the day, it is any given Sunday or however the case, but it's also true that 7 out of the 17 game season feature trash teams or straight up poverty franchises, and it's also true that they feature 3 mid teams: the Vikings, Chargers, and the Packers. Those teams are mid. I'm sorry, I mean, they're not horrible, they're not poverty franchise, but they're mid. They're just average. That's 10 out of 17 of our games this year on this schedule. I'll have it posted on the side the whole time, but that's 10 out of 17 games that feature garbage teams to average teams at best. The other 7 teams, the Chiefs, 3-time champions, absolutely deserve respect. Absolutely deserve respect. Despite getting belt tasked 40-22. Absolutely deserve respect nevertheless. The Bills, MVP quarterback and things of that nature, their ownership showed the hunger this year, tried their best to acquire defensive talent and things of that nature. Obviously, last year they made the AFC title game and things of that nature, so a lot of respect to them. The Rams, they gave us the best run for our money in the playoffs last year. They were 1 drive away from winning it, or however the case, but obviously we got that stop and things of that nature, so much respect to them as well. Matthew Stafford, Devontae Adams, and things of that nature, even though he wasn't there last year, but I'm just saying. The Lions, I do know, injuries do contribute, or however the case. If our team had a lot of injuries, knock on wood, or however the case, I wouldn't sit here and say, oh, that's part of it. You can say, oh, dang, our season was literally ended by injuries. That's fair to say for the Lions and a lot of the other teams, but still, they did show a lot last year despite the injuries. The Buccaneers, again, they've had our number in recent years, or however the case. All the respect to them, their defensive coordinator and whatnot. The Washington Commanders, they did, add Debo or however the case. I'm not saying that that's a needle mover, but I mean it's at least better than the George Pickens move. I'll say that. I believe they did more to help their trenches or however the case than Dallas did, for instance, or however the case. But in my opinion, those are really the only elite teams on our schedule, especially comparing to what we have to what we still have, and compared to what we've added as well. I feel like essentially at the end of the day, I mean, I feel like we can win them all. But at the end of the day, being realistic, being humble, trying to be accurate about it, trying to see it from, just a sports perspective or however the case, I could realistically see us go 13-4, only losing to the Bucks in Week 4 and the Commanders Week 16, and maybe the Rams and the Chiefs Week 2. But yeah, because I'm genuinely 50-50 on Week 2 in Kansas City, and then Week 3 in LA versus the Rams. Especially since it's this early, pre-OTAs, it's before preseason and things of that nature. But I'm seeing some fans, making it seem like we're facing Kevin Durant's Warriors 17 straight games, metaphorically. So I thought I'd give my thoughts on it and things of that nature. Have a little bit of fun in the process. But overall, I think our team possesses the toughness, the grip, the skill, and everything that comes with it to beat the tougher teams, the Bills, the Commanders, and things of that nature, the Chiefs again, and things of that nature, to achieve that 13-4 record. Jalen Hurts, he proved himself. Versus the Pittsburgh game, or however the case, I mean, they were kind of slowing down Barkley a little bit, so he did kind of have to throw the ball. Notably in the Super Bowl, Barkley was held to less than 90 yards, or however the case, and Jalen Hurts, 280 yards, only one pick, I believe 2 passing touchdowns and things of that nature. So pretty darn good game, and he's had a rushing record, so he's proven. AJ and Smitty, they're proven. If Saquon, if he goes for 1,500 like last year, he's proven in terms of health and durability, or however, because that was his main knock. It wasn't skill, it was just health. O-line is proven, with the exception of right guard, or however the case, but I mean, that's 4 out of the 5 main positions. Stout, he's proven as one of the best O-line developers of our generation, if not of all time. Defensive line is young and exciting and things of that nature. It's not a rip, or however the case, but I mean, Jalen Carter, I think he's proven himself, or however the case. DBs after this year, in terms of Cooper DeJean and Quinion, I think they'll be proven and things of that nature, potentially. Even Reed Blankenship. Defensive coaching staff, I think they're proven. Clint Hurt, Vic Fangio, Bobby King, linebacker coach. I mean, based on what they've shown me, Oren Burks, he was a bum for the 49ers in the Super Bowl. He was. That's a fact. He was getting exploited left and right. And then for us, with Bobby King, credit to Bobby King, he plays, more quality than what we'd initially expect. We thought he'd be a liability, but no, I mean, he was doing darn good. Nick Sirianni's proven. Howie and Lurie, the ownership, they're proven. And plus, the free agents this year, Azeez Al-Julaari, A.J. Dillon, they have high upside as well. So the only bad things I'd say about the schedule is that there's no back-to-back home games and not playing Tampa at home. I wish we could play them at home that early in the year. The only actual questions about us, in terms of my personal opinion, is Patullo. It is his first year being an offensive coordinator. Cornerback 2. Obviously, we know Quinion is cornerback 1, but there is a legit question at cornerback 2. With C.J. Gardner-Johnson gone, that does leave a legitimate question at safety. I think either Andrew Makuba or Reed Blankenship have to establish themselves as a clear starting safety, in my personal opinion. I trust Reed Blankenship to do that, but I think he has to do it this year, in my opinion. I do think we have some good problems, or some good questions to have. Defensive end and defensive tackle depth. We have lots of exciting young options. Antoine Powell-Ryland, Ty Robinson, Moro Ajomo, Azeez Al-Julaari, Joshua Uche, Nolan Smith Jr., Jalix Hunt, etc., if I'm missing any. But yeah, with running back 2, kind of the same thing. Shipley, A.J. Dillon, Montrell Johnson Jr., Shanderick Powell. There's a lot of talent and potential. I'm not saying they all make the team. That's not what I'm saying. But but I think it's going to be a really close battle. There's going to be a lot of interesting positional battles with running back, defensive end, and defensive tackle and whatnot. There's going to be a lot of interesting battles, even those I'm not currently thinking of. But yeah, I definitely think that it's going to make it tough to decide, who makes the team and whatnot, which I think is a good problem to have. Instead of like, man, aren't even really good enough at all. But no, I mean, I think, we have a good group of guys. Pause no Diddy just to be safe. A little bit of Eagles news and updates. 7 out of the 10 drafted rookies this year have been officially signed to the Eagles. Guard and center, Drew Kendall. Linebacker, Smale Munden Jr. DB, Mac McWilliams. Quarterback, Kyle McCord. Defensive tackle, Ty Robinson. Offensive tackle, Miles Hinton. And last but not least, Antoine Powell-Ryland, which only leaves 3 undrafted players yet to sign. Jahad Campbell, linebacker. Safety, Andrew Makuba. And offensive lineman, Cameron Williams. Excuse me. But yeah, overall, lots to be excited about there. Got a little bit of a interesting question from Bleacher Report. They ask who is a potential breakout candidate, and in my opinion, there's 13 good answers. But if I had to just narrow it down to 3, I can't narrow it down anymore. Number 1, Jordan Davis. Number 2, Azeez Ojulari. Number 3, Jalix Hunt, in my opinion. Now, the other 10 that I didn't name as official predictions, or however the case, that could be in line for a breakout year, are 1, Tyler Steen. 2, Trotter Jr. 3, Ojimo. 4, Ben Van Sumeren as a fullback full-time. Number 5, Joshua Uche. Number 6, A.J. Dillon. Number 7, Will Shipley. Number 8, Adoree Jackson. Number 9, Eli Ricks. And number 10, Kelee Ringo. Now again, I think they have a chance at a breakout year, but I wouldn't go so far as to say that I predict that. Like I said, I do predict one of the 3, Jordan Davis, Azeez Ojulari, or Jalix Hunt, to break out this year. That's only a 7.69% chance, 1 out of 13. I predict one of them to. If 2 of them hit, heck yeah, I won't be mad at all. But that'll still count as wrong. But yeah. But yeah, that said, that's all I have for you guys today. Thank you guys so much for watching. That's all I have for you guys today. A little bit of news, a little bit of hot takes in between. Thank you guys so much for watching Philly Flavor Day, where you get authentic Eagles passion you can trust. God bless. Philly out. Peace.